Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! If you don't want spoilers, go away! What? Game of Thrones season 6, the first season that I've watched full through real time. Seasons 1 through 5, I binge watched. I hadn't watched the show at that point, and I watched through them, and I loved the show, so I had to start with season 6. And I followed it all the way through. And overall, I thought the season was pretty good. First two episodes were really strong, and then it kind of metered out throughout the rest of the season. It was all right, a little bit slow, but it was okay. And then the last two episodes happened, and then holy crap, two of the best episodes of any show I've ever seen. Amazing. Let's start with the first one, Battle of the Bastards. Ran um, throughout most of the season. I had been waiting to see what they would actually do with him because I had been, to my knowledge, which I had theories that I've been swirling, that he would take control of one of the dragons. There's three, and they belong to three different people. The reason the other two won't listen to Daenerys as well. Oh, the reason the big one wasn't listening to Daenerys as well at the end of season 5, to my knowledge, was explained to me as, well, that's not really hers to control. Tyrion controls one, she'll control one, and then the other will be controlled by Bran. Because he can do that thing, and he does it in the season too, where he goes eyes white and he controls something bigger than him. Lately, it's been Hodor, and that would be the dragon would be next. But throughout most of the season, Bran has kind of been the part of the story that didn't seem to be interesting at all. His whole story arc throughout season 6 was probably the least interesting throughout most of the season, up until the episode where they got found out about by the Walkers, the White the White Walkers found out about him, and then it was like, oh crap, and then Max von Sydow was put down, and then Bran's direwolf was put down, which makes me question the importance of the direwolves at this point, and then sadly Hodor got put down in a very very sad fashion. We finally found out what Hodor was referring to. It's not just his name; it means something else. Hold the door. Hold the door. Flashback sequence. Probably the one bit that probably stuck out like a sore thumb because of all the things in the show, time travel, it's not seem really that. It seems a little bit off the wall for this show. Because they've dealt with magic and stuff, but time travel is a little like, huh? Because when Bran takes these sequences throughout the season, it looks as if he's viewing stuff from the past, and then when it comes to this episode where he warned Hodor to hold the door, it looked like he basically, in essence, it almost looked like he told him about it when in his younger self, so he would know for the rest of his life, hold the door. That's what he would know. So that was a little bit of a real element to me, but and then it was it added something to the storyline that we hadn't seen. And then he was trying to escape with the girl. I forget her name at this point. Um, but she's great. She's bad. She's really really awesome. She's really a kick butt lady. Only thing about that whole scene where the Hodor died was like they kept trying to wake him up. You're not gonna wake Bran up. He's not gonna be much use. He can only use his arms. He can't use his legs, so it's not like he's gonna run. So they should have escaped earlier. But aside from that, um, they're escaping and they're catching up to him, and then good old Uncle Benjen shows up, who we haven't seen in a very long time. Been wondering about his presence. We don't know where many of the Starks are, so it was we were happy to see him, and he saved them, and he helped them out. It was a good scene. Uh, and then he helps them to get to a safer place, which you'll see at the end of the season. And then Daenerys, in that episode, she just came back, had to deal with all of what Tyrion was trying to fix. Tyrion was trying to fix the land that she had conquered while she was gone, being found by Ser Jorah, and it was really watching her. She gets better and better as the show progresses. Because at first she was all right, and then she's kind of, at least for the last two seasons, she's been kind of sort of put into place. And she was talking a big game, but she didn't feel like she fits. Now she feels like she fits. You feel the power of her. At first you don't feel the power of her. Now you do. So everything she does, you believe in. Greyjoys. Now they've chosen to align themselves with or at least Yara and Theon Greyjoy, they've chosen to align themselves with Daenerys Targaryen and to help them out, help her get to the throne, which is pretty cool. I find Yara to be an incredibly awesome character. There needs to be more Yara. I'm just saying. Theon, he's gonna get that character has gone through a lot, and it's a fascinating character. It's awesome, and because of Yara, they bounce off each other well, and it'll be interesting to see Yara interact with other characters throughout the whole realm, especially Daenerys and Tyrion, because they're awesome. Because they're trying to escape their family now, because apparently their family is gonna kill them. All right, fair enough. They go into the battle to take on Ramsay Bolton, which is pretty awesome. About time. Someone needs to fight this guy. Because nobody spotted him since Tyrion was held captive and Yara tried, and Tyrion wouldn't come because he was just broken at that point. So it's about time someone went after Ramsay. And he had Rickon, and the girl who was supposed to protect him, and his direwolf, and they're dead. Rickon was alone, he was held captive. Jon Snow went back for his brother. And now, as they're drawing the battle plans to attack him, Sansa's just standing by, idling. And then, as they leave, she gets on to Jon about not asking her for help, not asking her what she thinks they should do because she spent a lot of time with Ramsay. And then this is part of the problem a reoccurring problem that happens with Sansa every once in a while. Not lately at all, but for way in the beginning, was just like she seems out of place. Like what she's thinking is not exactly up to par with everything else. So when she's complaining about this, and then Jon says, "All right, tell me what we should do." Her best advice is don't do what he thinks they should do. Don't do what he would expect them to do, which is not good advice when you're drawing up battle plans. That goes without saying. That's like breathe when you talk. All right, fine, breathe. That goes without saying. Breathe when you live. That's so. And they get into an argument about that. And it's like this one thing is like Sansa. That's of course that's like it's like every once in a while she says something that's just like, oh jeez, okay, but whatever. Everyone has those moments, even Jon Snow. But then the actual fight happens, and they have to go save Rickon. Rickon, oh for the life of me, Rickon zigzags, zigzags. I swear, if there were running backs in Game of Thrones, this would not have been such a big deal. But since Rickon decided to run straight, uh, well, Rickon perishes because of a deal that game that Ramsay plays, and then so it's the Giants and Jon Snow and all the wildlings and versus Ramsay's army, and it's pretty freaking cool at first. It's fun to watch. It's a great battle, but the side we should be rooting for starts to lose, and that's not such a good thing. And then the fight's getting really, and Jon Snow, it looks like this is gonna be another one for Ramsay, and he's just sitting there smiling. He's not even gotten his hands dirty. And then Littlefinger, a character I'm not too fond of, shows up with this army that he got, that it appears he had gotten from a deal he made earlier on in the season. Sent a, well, I believe he was sent a message by Sansa, and he shows up just in time to help. And he helps, he does, very indeed. Their army helps with the wildlings and Jon Snow and all of them take control of Winterfell. And then eventually, um, Jon Snow takes down Ramsay, and it was a very cool battle. Um, a little nice little fight, and then at the end of the episode, Ramsay locked up is talked to by Sansa, and then in a very defining moment of her character, a turning point, she lets the dogs out on Ramsay. Dogs Ramsay had been holding special for Jon Snow, I believe, or whoever came across his path. The same dogs that I believe he sent to kill his own mother and little brother. Sick dude, and he he had it coming, and then he let the dogs out. He hadn't fed them. He thought he still had the trust. No, they were hungry, so they ate him. It's pretty cool. And Sansa just sits there and smiles about it. She loves it. Well, it was a really cool, really cool way to end the episode. It was awesome. And then you're thinking, okay, well, that was just the season episode 9. I mean, there's no way they're gonna be able to top that with season finale. Usually, if episode 9, the next to last episode of the season, if that's great, then season finale is probably not gonna top it. I mean, that's just the way of thinking. It happens a lot. It's no big deal. As long as it was good, we were all gonna be interested. And then out of nowhere, Game of Thrones decides to like throw probably the most greatest episode they've ever had, probably since the Red Wedding or something like that. It was fantastic. Starts out back to the where the Iron Throne is, where the High Sparrow is having trial for Cersei. Cersei's trial is up. She was put on trial and everything. Now it's finally here. She needs to go on trial and be judged for her sins. And at first, when the episode starts, you're believing, all right, she's getting dressed, putting like this very nice, elegant gown on. Tommen, he's preparing to see his mother to trial. Everyone is getting ready. Marjorie's got to watch her brother because he's also going to be on trial for his crimes, meant to confess the sins. Um, and it's really intense. First couple minutes watching his trial, it's like, wow, that actor Ben Jones, who is going to be the Iron Fist pretty soon. Um, it's intense watching. He's literally at that point broken. So watching him act his scenes was like really, really, really taken. It makes me taking it back. And then you were just waiting because we're like, okay, well, Cersei's supposed to be having her thing next. What's going to happen? And there was a lot of predictions going around that Cersei was just going to bail. Like, she was just not going to show up at all. No, I don't think anyone saw what happened next. No one, I don't think anyone saw that coming, really. I'll be shocked if someone calls exactly how it happened coming. Spoilers. Cersei sends the Mountain to go for her son to prevent him from going to see these trial. That's a little weird. When he first shows up, we're like, what is happening? Because the music that starts playing is a beautiful piece. It's a little bit eerie. It's a little bit creepy. Like, what is going to happen? And then the High Sparrow is just waiting, and Marjorie's looking around like, where's Cersei? Because she's not showing. She's not showing up. The king's not there. Cersei's not there. What's happening? All right. He sends one of his soldiers after him, and his soldiers of course men are following with him. And then he sees this little kid, and he follows this kid down these tunnels. And then And then the kid in these dark tunnels, he shows up. It's under the cathedral where they're holding this trial. And then the kid literally like stabs him in the leg, and he falls. And then the kid runs off, and then the soldier is just looking like around, like we see what's happening, and it's like he's surrounded by all this, the green, that hellfire, that green fire that Tyrion used way back in season 4, into season 3. That it's around and it's there, and wow, okay, he's surrounded by this stuff. I think the wheels start turning. You're like, oh, 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 dang, okay. And then and then you start putting the sticks together, and he starts crawling because his legs, he can't walk, so he starts crawling towards the end, and he see, oh snap, there's a candle, or there's spilled, and there's a candle. Oh god, this candle's melting. Oh god, the fire's about to go in there. Oh god, and he starts crawling faster. He gets towards it, and then Marjorie's thinking, oh yeah, something's gonna happen. She doesn't know She doesn't know what's gonna happen, but she knows something bad's about to happen. So she's trying to get the people out. But then the High Sparrow says, no, no one leaves. And then his men block the exits, so no one can get out of this cathedral. And the whole Tyrell family is there except for the grandmother. And it's like, oh crap, something bad's gonna happen. And then, sure enough, the guy didn't make it in time, and the fire gets into the barrels of the green fire, and it's like the green liquid that causes that huge fiery explosion, and then it blows up the whole cathedral and kills the Tyrells, kills the High Sparrow and all his men, and all those people in there with him. And it's like, oh my, Cersei. and she's just sitting there watching from her tower, just chilling, for lack of a better word. And then Tommen, he's taken back because okay, now he's lost his wife. It's like this guy, not a very old kid, couldn't be no more than like 15, couldn't be no older. And then he's or 16, and then he's sitting there and he's watching, and he's like, oh crap, all those people that I cared about that were gonna lead me in the right direction, they're dead now. He's had a rough time being king. The stress is just too much for him. And then in an act of that I didn't see coming either, just swan dives out his tower straight to the floor. And he can't fly, so that didn't end well. And then the prophecy is fulfilled, and Cersei loses all of her kids. They're all gone now. And then Cersei gets her little revenge on the Confess lady. Confess. She gets a little revenge, sends the mountain in on her, and that's not good. He takes his helmet off for the first time. We see messed up Frankenstein Mountain, and it's scary. Bran finally shows something worth of importance in this flashback sequence, because he's done quite a few, and they've been rather boring, except for the one that had to do with Hodor. And then this one, he finally shows, oh, the true lineage of Jon Snow. And it's like, that's not, and it was like, okay, so his father, um, Ned Stark, when he was younger, and it shows him, and he's in the tower with this woman that looks an awful lot like Emilia Clarke, who plays Daenerys Targaryen. And then he shows him taking this kid, and he's protecting this kid, this little baby. And it shows that the baby's Jon Snow, but it looks like as if he's like, this is not his kid. He's protecting this kid as her dying wish. He's protecting her, and he's so much that he was willing to sacrifice his wife, thinking that he cheated on her, and he really did. That's Jon Snow. That's Ned Stark for you. So Jon Snow shown to be alive, and Lady Mormont, God bless her little heart, she rallies the people, and now everyone's following him as the King of the North. So he's going to get his throne, and then the lady grandmother Tyrell, that's what I'm gonna call her, she goes and talks with the family of the Red Viper, Prince Oberon's family, and his wife and I believe daughters, they're talking to her, and she shuts them all down pretty quickly because she won't play that. And then it's really cool. And then they form an alliance of sorts. And then let's see. Um, um, Sir Davos finally finds out what happens to the princess, Princess Shireen from last season, who was the nicest little girl in the world. What happened to her was absolutely atrocious. Um, it's awful. And he finds out what happened to her and why, and then he talks to Melisandre, confronts her in front of Jon Snow about it, and she's forced to confess what happened. And Jon Snow, in an act of, in a very, very merciful act, he sends her away. He just tells her to pack up and leave and don't come back. Sir Davos wanted her dead, but no, he couldn't do that, so Jon just sends her on her way and tells her never to come back. Arya finally avenges her family a little bit. Way back in season 3, I believe, Robb and his mother were killed in the wedding, and then Arya go in Blackwater Bay, I believe, and then when Jaime Lannister is there talking to the guy, the sick man that's I guess king of that realm, tells him, he's like, look, we keep coming back here to protect you guys. Why do we even need y'all? And just goes about his business. And it was like, wow, okay, why does he need this family? It was like, it's a sick man just making his kids and then having kids with the kids. So it's like, let's get rid of this guy. And then Arya, under disguise, avenges, and she takes him out. And it was a really awesome scene because Arya in this whole season has been like, okay, it's kind of been the retreading of last season until something finally happened. And the last time we saw Arya was when she was being chased by the girl, and then she left that whole faceless give him a name. She left that whole business, which in that episode it was good. It was all of it was all right up until the point where they didn't show the death of the little girl, of the other girl, because that skipping that was like a big. That's like having to fight in a Superman movie and not even showing what happened. That's just ugh. Anyway, she gets her revenge. Um, Cersei is crowned upon the Iron Throne, and she's lost all her kids. The only thing she believes she ever did good in this world was the kids, and she's lost all three of them. So there's nothing tying her back to being a good person anymore. So whatever happens now is this is all dark Cersei. She's oof, it's nerve wracking. And then the last shots that we see are Daenerys leading her Dothraki and her armies, and they're going for the Iron Throne. Uh, and it's like, wow, okay, I'm buying it because she earlier that episode, she technically had to break up with the assassin, and it was very heartfelt. And she talked to Tyrion about how the feeling of nothingness, and Tyrion talked to her about it, and it was really cool. Where it was like he talked her down. Like this guy, he didn't believe in anything, but now he's been told his whole life of what to believe by very different people, and every time it went to rubble. So he doesn't believe in anything. And now a guy that doesn't want to believe in anything believes in one thing now, and it's Daenerys and the Iron Throne. So he's believing her. The whole she's got her army, she's got her dragons. Epic shot from the top. Oh my God, it's wow. It's like holy crap. It's like you see the King of the North and then Cersei, and then Daenerys, and you're like, oh my God, it's all about to come to a head. Who's gonna be on the Iron Throne? That's your question. Until you remember about the White Walkers. So then you're like, okay, well, two of these they don't know yet. So Jon Snow is gonna come in there and he's gonna have to explain. He's like, look, yes, the Iron Throne, yes, someone needs to rule it, but the big problem is still out there. All this petty stuff that us humans are going through, it doesn't mean anything because the dead are coming, and there's not much that can stop them except for Valerian steel. So oh my God, it's gonna be amazing. That episode, just ending was it was amazing. I was like this the whole episode. I'm just like, it's amazing. It was great. That's great TV right there. That's amazing. I could rewatch that and be like, wow, this is awesome. I literally had to get on and text my friends and be like, oh my God, did you see that? And I text my aunt and I was like, oh my God, that was awesome. Tell me you saw that. It was just having discussions on there. It was great. As far as predictions, look, I don't know what side to root for. Daenerys is pretty strong, but I don't think she's gonna die. And when it appears, there's a song of Fire and Ice, the original title of Game of Thrones series. It's starting to look up to be like with the way the lineage of and I start protecting Jon Snow and the mother. It looks like she was part Targaryen, at least related Targaryen. Daenerys Targaryen is Targaryen, so it looks as if like, whoa, wait, I think Jon Snow and Daenerys Targaryen are related. Song of Fire and Ice. Daenerys Targaryen. Mother of Dragons. Jon Snow. King of the North. Oh my God. It's starting to make sense. It's starting to clear up. Mind you, I didn't read the books, so there's some people that were like, we know for years. I haven't known. I didn't read the books. But wow, that's incredible. As far as predictions go, I don't know what to predict. I don't know. I'd like to think, okay, it looks as if, from what has been talked about, it looks like there's only going to be 2 more seasons. Fair enough. But okay, so I don't know what's gonna happen to Cersei. The Lannisters are gonna have control over that realm for a while, and I think they know what's coming as far as the humans are concerned. Daenerys, she's flying the whole time. The whole thing of Daenerys is like throughout the entire time that I've watched is like she's always flying forward, but there's always like there's something in her viewpoint that she can't see that's always been there. So no matter what goal she takes, there's always something that she's not knowing, that she's not privy to, that's probably gonna hurt her on the way to getting somewhere. It happens all the time throughout the entire series. I think this for the next 2 seasons is gonna be these White Walkers. She has no idea. Like, so that's gonna raise problems for her. Um, I believe that all of Westeros is oof. It's gonna be scary. Whatever happens to Bran, if he can get in contact with his brother, with Jon Snow again, he'll be fine. Littlefinger, he got to go. He got to go. I swear, Littlefinger, his goal. He made it clear. His goal is not to see that Jon is Iron Throne. His end goal is to be on the Iron Throne with Sansa at his side. That's creepy, because you were digging on her mom, Littlefinger. Keep your little fingers away from her. Anyway, wow. So he's got to go. Like, he's gonna raise all problems for Jon Snow if someone doesn't excommunicate him very soon. Uh, the wildlings though, just keep them. Just keep the wildlings. I like Tormund. Like, keep him. I like him. He's like a male Brienne of Tarth, but opposite. So it's awesome. Brienne's awesome too, and Podrick and Braun. Not Bran, but Braun. All three of those are awesome. I could watch them do anything. Um, let's see, and then well, seriously, Westeros is about to get its head turned again, even though it just got its head turned with the explosion. Um, I can't wait for the soundtrack to come out so I can get the song that played during that episode during the explosions part. That's beautiful. It was a beautiful piece. Um, and then and Daenerys and Jon Snow, like if Jon, and then the White Walkers, they're always that wild card. Like whenever it's, I believe the way it's gonna go, because this series has a knack for doing this. It will make you think about. It's got so much in it that when it focuses in on one thing for long enough, when the other thing comes in that you forgot about, it makes a big impact. So what I believe is going to happen is they're going to go full on and focus on the whole. They're going to focus hard on who's going to get the Iron Throne, who's going to get the Iron Throne, and then just when you forget about it, those White Walkers are going to show up, and they're going to cause a lot of damage. And then it's a question of, okay, we need to team up to fight them, and then it's a matter of, well, who's left standing. So wow, so I'm like very looking forward to see what happens. I was floored. Like, okay, so started strong and you end strong. So overall, I think this was a good season. It went from being okay season, from episodes like 3 to 8, minus the Horde episode, which was great, but it was the one thing about that episode that was great. From 3 to 8, if you would just watch those, you would thought probably an okay season. But episodes 1 and then 9 and then 10 and even 2 really just make sure it's like, okay, this is a good season because it starts strong and it ends strong, and it's just fine. But when it started, it's strong. So it's overall a good season. And I can't wait for the next one. Whenever it's happening, I have no idea. Hopefully soon, because I can't wait to get more in. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Feel free to like and subscribe. Follow me anywhere at Justice Stemmons. Just type in Justice Stemmons, STEMMONS, and you'll find me on all the social medias except for Facebook. That's one I'm not on. But I'm on Snapchat. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Instagram. And obviously I'm here. And I'm gonna post more videos soon. So thanks you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye bye.